All right, a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to Night Moves here for Thursday, November the 5th. We've got a nice card here for the action tonight. One NFL game, a couple of college games here as well. And we get some college basketball and some hockey. Not a huge card, but we'll spend some time together here on Thursday night looking ahead to the action, including that NFL game between the Raiders and the Broncos, an AFC West battle for our featured game here. But hey, it was a pretty good night of action on Wednesday night. We'll talk about it, do a little recap, and then get on with the previews of the games tomorrow. Won't be here for a long time, but we'll be here for a good time, if you know what I mean. So thank you for joining me here on Night Moves. You had a pretty good day over there at Tony's Picks. Picked up a couple of college winners. My soccer couldn't come home at all, but we'll be back at it here tomorrow with mostly, I'd say, college basketball because we got one NBA game on the slate, and college slate is a bit abbreviated as well. Good hockey card, though, for sure. Say hello to some folks in the chat as we get the show started. Power Critter is here today to join us, and Mr. Weskers as well, talking about those Sharks there against the Kraken. How about these Sharks? How about the Sharks? How about the Ducks? All these teams are kind of getting it done right now, and maybe the upside down NHL will have some winners there on the card. We did have some winners there on the NHL card on Night Moves from last night. We had the Maple Leafs in that 5-3 win over Utah. We also had the Calgary Flames. How about it? I mean, hey, they only had 3 wins. We had them over Buffalo, over Columbus there last night. We had Calgary there to get it done there on Night Moves. And we have the Sharks and the Kraken game to go over in that 6-1 win. So, okay night there in hockey. And hello to Mr. Palachi joining us there. And Power Critter says 2-0 in hockey thanks to Rod's winners there. Good job, Rod, if you're out there. All right. And Laker, let's see, what else are you guys talking about in the chat? The Lakers game got a little dicey there at the end. And we can talk about some basketball winners here for sure on Night Moves last night. Man, did we ever have some winners, didn't we, on the show? We gave you up and down the card here. Philadelphia and Cleveland game to go over there yesterday as Cleveland. I don't think they got the money. They got it if you got in last night, right, at 9.5. It went all the way to 12.5. The Sixers got the money in the end. Depends when you got in the line. That's why you're here on Night Moves, right? When you have the line there last night, we said, oh, it went from 10 down to 9.5. And you know what? I actually was leaning toward the Sixers there and got the right points in the morning, I guess. Also, winner with the Nets and the Pacers game to go under here on Night Moves. We had it. We also had the Wizards and the let's see. Let me get it straight here. The Night Moves winners. We had the Houston Rockets over Memphis, laying those points, and they knocked them down. Memphis is a mess. Houston got the win and the cover on the road. We had the winner here on Night Moves. We also had the Denver Nuggets to cover. They were laying 8.5 or 9 by the time the game went off. We said to lay it with the Nuggets last night. Got that winner. We had the winner with the Portland Trailblazers plus those points. I think it was the sharp side, you guys. You guys were all over it with Portland last night, saying how the Thunder late travel. Yeah, they're great. They almost won it anyways, but the Blazers won it by 2 points last night, 121 to 119. We also had a winner Warriors and Kings game to go over easily there last night, and uh, had some winners also here on the show in college basketball. There, didn't we? Let me take a look at some of those as well from last night. While I say hello to Timmy Tushu in the chat and Zach Rossley. I hope I got it right, Zach. Great to have you here. First time in the chat, he says, but I know you've been watching, Zach, so thanks a lot. Zach Rossley. I hope I said it right there. I know, like I said, they've changed these handles a little bit. I know not everybody has the right handle that they want up there. I don't know what YouTube is doing, but we just got to live with it. That's all right. And let's see who else is in there. He had to know who the spread was. Mr. Palachi talking about the Rockets and Embiid. He's in, he's out. Who's in, who's out? Let me cover a little college basketball, as we had winners there too. Man, I can't miss in college basketball. When I say I can't miss, it just means we're rolling good. But we did have Rutgers there. You know, Ryder was super popular with everybody there, right? Ryder had to be one of those popular teams on the card yesterday in the pub. From the talking heads and the cappers, it felt like to me, but I was on Rutgers. And they got it done for sure comfortably there, as we had it here on Night Moves. We also had Tarleton State and LSU game to go over there yesterday, and it did, as LSU blew out Tarleton State. Also had a Night Moves winner with UC Davis as they pummeled North Dakota State. Gave you the winner here on Night Moves. We also had the under Eastern Washington and Loyola Marymount, another winner there late. In the 70-62 win for LMU over Eastern Washington. Man, was a good night of winners here on Night Moves there yesterday. Also, one football winner here on Night Moves. Ball State got that late win there last night to win that MAC game. A real close one there, but looked like Kent was going to steal it. Ball wins it late 17-13 to get that win on Thursday. So also want to touch on another college game or two. Didn't have it here on Night Moves necessarily. In fact, it was my loser over there at Tony's Picks. We'll go there in just a second. But how about the Mountain West? They're looking pretty good this season. Fresno State lost to USC Upstate, the third straight night that the Mountain West Conference has lost one of these early season games as a big favorite. It's a bad home loss for the Bulldogs. They were favored by 9.5. Fresno led by 12 late in the first half. But, man, 5 of the 12 teams in the Mountain West have already lost a game in the season's first 3 nights. Bad news here for the Mountain West for sure. But a few other games they've lost here so far, man. I'll tell you what, Mountain West is in trouble here this season. I can't believe it. The St. Bart Center had only 2,000 fans in there for that game against USC Upstate. They said 2,000. Didn't even look like 2,000 there to me. But hopefully it won't hurt San Diego State's rating too bad this season. All right. And let's see here. Anything else in the chat? Kind of getting going. You guys are getting going in the chat. I want to say hello to Pays and Plays Podcast. That's a cool name. That sounds like a podcast I'd listen to. Raiders plus 9.5, and the Broncos still win. Thank you, Pays and Plays. I like that. Nice to have you here in the chat. Cool. And all right. And you guys are already talking football. Man, I'm ready. I'm not even ready to get into it, but we will. I think we've recapped enough there with some of the winners here. Hey, you can go over to Tony'sPicks.com and check out our premium picks. Always our best picks. Always my best picks are available every day over at Tony's Picks. This is where you might see me on some different channels and some different shows, but just know that my top plays every day are at Tony'sPicks.com. My absolute top, uh, high roller boutique plays right here at Tony's. Take a look at the handicapper leaderboards and see who's hot. And then get signed up. You see Ron Crawford there, 6-2 yesterday for Ron. Jorge here in Vegas, he went 4-0 yesterday as well. Solo went 3-1. Great job, Ronnie. Let's take a look at some of the winners from Ron. He's up 15 units over the last 7 days. Ron is kicking and taking some and take a look at these winners he had. He had the Portland Trailblazers yesterday. He had the Blackhawks. He had Lakers on that money line. He had Calgary with me to rock, and he had Houston there as well, and he had Ball State. Man, good day for Ron there with all those winners. Congratulations to my man Ron Crawford. A great day there yesterday with his premium picks. You could click the Cappers tab, find the handicapper of your choice, find their package of plays, or get on board with one of their long-term subscriptions. For example, for me, you can get my 30-day pass, 3-day pass, or 7-day pass here at Tony'sPicks.com. And you see a couple of winners I had here. I had over with Alabama A&M and Indiana, and I had the under with East Texas A&M and New Mexico. Check out the handicapper leaderboards. Take a look at the college basketball here so far this season, and you'll see that I'm right up there near the top. So far, it's only been the first week of the season. There I am, 7-2 so far after 3 days. A couple of my buddies there, Solo 3-1, Justin 2-1 so far on the leaderboards in basketball. But after I won 24.5 units here last year on Tony's Picks in college basketball, I'm headed for another big season. So why don't you make sure you get signed up with me in, I think, arguably my best sport, college basketball, that most opportunities present the most games available to bet on, and that's why I like college basketball so much, and maybe that's why I'm off to such a good start, including here on the show. I picked a few games out here today anyway, even though we really don't have any marquee matchups here for today. So thank you, everybody, for joining me here. There's some other sports headlines, I think, here today with some of the moves. In baseball, Braves will keep Chris Sale. That was one bigger name there with some of the moves. Sally Perez, I think that one actually went down on late Tuesday, but Sal's going to stay. You got to stay with the Royals if you're Sally Perez, don't you? And we'll see what happens there with that. A few football moves as well came in. The Rams signed a kicker. They signed the big man, the former UFL kicker. You're going to see the big man kicking in there for the Rams, the heavyweight here, Harrison Mabes, this week, it looks like. So also Fox Sports hired Drew Brees to be a color analyst for the rest of the season. Turns out Mark Sanchez's stabbing wounds are pretty bad. They're going to keep him, whether or not it was, we know it was right or wrong. We know it was wrong, but he is sidelined with basically the injury from doing his job. So, all right. Lakers, man, that Laker game, I can't get over it. The way they won the ugly game, came back from those 10 and 12-point deficits, all those free throws. I mean, that was bad. I mean, come on. There was 84 free throws in that game, 66 fouls tonight. Luka, 35 points, 9 rebounds, 13 assists. Ayton, a strong night as well, 22 points and 10 rebounds for DeAndre Ayton. And Wemby had the foul problems, actually, that kind of prevented there. LeBron James, not yet cleared to start 5-on-5 practices, but he's kind of nearing that point. So maybe it will be Thanksgiving. Maybe LeBron can be ready by then. We have just one game in the NBA on Thursday, Clippers and Suns. That's it. One NBA, one NFL. I thought this was supposed to be the best time of year for betting. Don't worry, it's coming. Suns favored that one by 2.5. We'll talk about it here on Night Moves. All right. We'll get back to the action here and take a look at the games for Thursday. Thank you for joining me. Let me see. Don't want to miss anything in the chat. Just got a few of you in there, I'm sure. You guys are already talking about the game, so might as well get into it. And Lakers are lucky that Jimmy, he fouled out. Yep, go over to Tony'sPicks.com and use the promo code Tony T at checkout, and that'll save 15% off all my premium pick packages, including mine here on Thursday, including that college basketball. I'm rolling another 3-pack tomorrow night. I mean, might as well keep it going here right now. Gonna have a big season already off to that hot start. So check me out, check out all the handicappers. Click on the upcoming tab. That's where you'll find all the games in chronological order. So you can just click the upcoming tab. You're pressed for time. Don't have a pick, don't have a handicap. You need that play. Go to the upcoming tab. See all of our plays in chronological order right there, and you can find the next up games and get the picks from our staff. So pretty great website, Tony'sPicks.com. Don't forget, I mean, not just the picks. I mean, lots of previews and articles. You see some of them there from the staff, and then all the picks from the crew. There's Al Ninos, there's Tony, there's Doubles, and there's me. So why not get hooked up with me on a 3-day pass over there? See what I'm all about over at Tony's Picks. And like I said, you can check out all the previews from the staff every day as well. All the articles here on our website. We would love for you to subscribe, but we give you some free information as well. Make sure you're well equipped to head into the action. All right. Hey, I want to get into it with you right now. So get ready in the chat. I want to hear your picks on the games. Might as well just start. All right. I mean, we only have one game in the NFL. So let's get to it. And it's in the AFC West. All right. That's what I'm talking about with my other home team, if you will, the Raiders, going up against the Broncos here in Denver. And Denver's hot. Look out, man. Denver is hot. No kidding right now. 6 straight wins for the Broncos here. It feels, it's the real deal. This team has been working towards this and getting rewarded here right now with some mid-season success. 7-2 overall. Can they win this division over the Chiefs and Chargers? Yeah, looks like they can when you go up to when you're on this kind of run here right now for Denver. They come in here, of course. 7-2. However, they are just 4-5 against the spread, 2-4 against the spread as a favorite. But the Raiders, you know what? Not only are they not winning games, they're not even really covering. They're 2-6 straight up, 1-5 straight up as an underdog, 1-3 straight up on the road. They're 1-3 against the spread on the road, 2-4 against the spread as an underdog. So hasn't really been a great season here for the Raiders. They're having issues certainly on offense, and Geno is not looking. The move is probably right. The Raiders probably were trying their best to put together the best cohesive team and personnel as possible. We got Geno, so the familiarity factor there with Coach Carroll and Geno was going to give maybe the Raiders the best opportunity. But man, the Raiders, look, they just dealt Jacoby Myers out of there. Tyler Lockett did come in last week. I mentioned him on the show. I didn't know he was even going to play, but that's how desperate maybe the Raiders were for some receivers and just trying to get loose with this offense because it hasn't been very good. We know that. For the Broncos here, Bo Nix has been so solid this season. He's really, he's not, winning you over with overwhelming numbers, but just real consistent, not making a ton of mistakes here. And the Broncos covered in 4 of those 6 wins into this one. Denver also 9-2 against the spread. Their last 11 games as a home favorite. Broncos have gone under in 5 of their last 7. Broncos had, believe this, but get this, they've won the last 2 games over the Raiders. The Raiders before that had won 7 straight games against Denver, and it's not like the Raiders have been world beaters for the last 3-4 years, right? So Denver's actually lost 4 of the last 5 games at home to the Raiders. Overs come in 4 of the last 5 meetings here. So far in division games across the NFL, home favorites are system play 13-8 so far. It doesn't sound like a lot, but not all division games are. Not all games are division games. You only get a few a week, actually. So, and not all of them are home favorites. But the home favorites in division games are faring a little bit pretty well here so far. The Raiders in their losses have allowed some big points in some of those losses. They allowed 41 points. They allowed 40. They've allowed 31. They've allowed 30. When they win, they've had good defense. But, man, on the road here, it does feel like it's going to be a little bit of a problem. Their last 3 road games, they've lost by 17, by 34, and by 31 points, and they're 4-8 against the spread their last 12 games as a road underdog. And at home, where they are competitive, they do have 2 1-point losses this season. So it doesn't feel real great right now between the two. Last year, Denver did win the game here 34-18 as a 3-point favorite. Really put kind of a beat down on Denver last year. So if you want to comment in the chat, I'd love to hear from you and get your perspective on the game between the Raiders and Denver here in Mile High on Thursday night. Let's go to the chat and see what the All-Stars have to say here for the action. All right, let me just make sure I got the right info here. And I'll go to the chat. See what you guys have to say. Thank you here. Crosby here. Looking, is Max injured? I think Max is in. Bo Bix, better than hell. Bo Bix, Bo Bix. And let's see. I agree with Mr. Weskers talking about how Bo Nix guides this team here. And maybe the public is catching up to the Broncos here. I don't know which side you're going with, but I know which side I'm going with. I was going to see if anybody in the chat wanted to chime in first. Raiders have gone under in 10 of their last 14 games. They're just 2-5 ATS in the last 7. Denver's covered 4 of their last 6. They've gone under in 8 of their last 11, dating back to last season. 6 of the last 9 games between these two teams have gone over. Raiders have actually covered the spread 12 of the last 15 meetings overall between these two clubs. But the Raiders right now, like I said, they've lost 6 of 7. I don't like this matchup for them really at all. I know that it seems like a lot of points. It sounds like the few All-Stars that are in here kind of leaning towards the Raiders here. But, man, I don't know if I have it in me to do it. This Denver defense just continues to be off the charts. I'm not totally sold on Denver's offense in this game, but I think they're going to be able to crush them here, and I'm going to take the Broncos to beat the Raiders by double digits here. I don't want it to be a terrible Thursday night game, but I'm going to take Denver to rock the Raiders here. I think Raiders kind of, like I said, traded Myers. You bring in an older guy like Lockett in here, and he's your number 3. Trey Tucker's awesome. I can't deny that. But Chino has just gone so downhill. Look, it was a decent game. He had a good game, no doubt, last week against Jacksonville. They still lost the game. He had 4 touchdowns. Let's give him a little bit of credit. 29 of 37 for 284 yards, but that was his best game in over a month, really. He had good games. In the win against New England, of course, and then the game against Washington that they did get blown out, but he had 3 touchdowns and 289 yards and 3 interceptions. But everybody's just been talking about the downhill trend here right now for Gino. It was his best, maybe his best game last week statistically in the game, but they still lost that game to Jacksonville. He's thrown for 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions so far this season, but he's going to be tough to trust here today against the Denver Broncos. Raiders going to have trouble getting to double digits, according to Timmy Chushu, and I don't know if I disagree with him here. I got to take Denver in this one. I'm taking the Broncos over the Raiders and lay the points. All right, that's it for that preview. Thank you in the chat. Let's move on now. Take a look at some college football, shall we, here for Thursday night? We got 2 games here on the docket, and we've got Texas San Antonio on the road here, and they're taking on South Florida. Got the Bulls, a 2-touchdown favorite here in this one on Thursday. Both games, I believe, start at 7:30 Eastern and 4:30 Pacific time. UTSA comes in here with a 4-4 record. USF comes in 6-2. USF was hot. They were on a winning streak, but they lost last time out to Memphis. Memphis won at home 34-31. South Florida actually winning that game favored. They've been on a good run too with the winning streak. Memphis is actually I'll just throw it in here just because we're mentioning Memphis. They were the one team from the group of 5 that were in the 12-team college playoff rankings. You know, they were outside of the top 25 by the committee, but the committee has to put one team in. Memphis was the highest ranked team of the teams, despite that loss with that win over South Florida last week. Memphis is the team right now headed to the college football playoff as the representative of the group of 5. I'm particular to San Diego State. I can't believe they have an outside chance. If a few of these teams like Memphis, like North Texas, could get knocked off and San Diego State could win all the games outright and then win the Mountain West Conference Championship against another team that is in that group. It's really Memphis, North Texas, Boise State, and San Diego State. They have a outside chance. There's mention was that's my team, but if they beat Boise, finish the Mountain West Conference undefeated, and then maybe these 2 teams, Memphis and North Texas, lose, maybe San Diego State could go in there and get reamed by Georgia. It would be a big moment, though, even though they would stand no chance against any of those teams. Memphis probably wouldn't either, but San Diego State would be totally overmatched, but it would be cool because they've had a really strong season. All right. Also want to comment. Let me roll with college football here with our games. Let me hear from you guys in the chat if you like this one. UTSA comes in off of a 48-26 win over Tulane, but USF's been the better spread team so far this year. They're 6-2 against the spread. They're also 4-0 against the spread at home. Meanwhile, UTSA is 1-3 against the spread on the road this season. So USF has definitely been getting the money here. It feels like a tough game though with these double digits. I'm not. I know it's been a little bit of a rough go here. UTSA, not quite the team that we've seen, not quite the team that we've seen over the last few seasons. But this year's most significant team may not be Memphis, Tulane, or USF because UTSA upset Tulane last week to kind of throw the conference off there a little bit, and USF actually now, or UTSA actually now remains kind of afloat here in conference play. So this is kind of a big one. UTSA will earn the conference title if they finish like big winners and take these last 4 games. So the Bulls get the Roadrunners on the road here. They're not nearly as effective. UTSA is playing for a bowl right now, right, with their 4 wins, right? Not 5. Let me make sure I got their record right. Oh, they have 4 wins, but they could still get a bowl here, obviously, with 2 wins. And, Coach Golish, he's really kind of been targeted here for some other jobs. He's actually done that good of a job, with South Florida, that he's been talked about for some other some other jobs here. So, that's something. I don't think it's part of the handicap necessarily, but I think it just shows you where this team is right now. Talking about the South Florida Bulls, 2 touchdown favorites. Man, I'm not sure I can get behind that. Actually, despite the obvious discrepancy here a little bit between the two teams. So South Florida, Byron Brown, 7th in the country, 320 yards per game. So even when they've lost, they've had some impressive. I mean, in the Memphis loss, USF outgained the Tigers by 114 yards. So UTSA relies on that run game with Robert Henry. He has over 1,000 yards with 8 yards per carry and 11 touchdowns. So this is a pretty good game. I want to give a UTSA a chance here to stay in this one by 2 touchdowns, and I'm going to take the Roadrunners here as my play on night moves in this one. And this one feels like it could be a good live betting game if you're into that. Total 67.5 here. You guys have some comments on this one? Let me know in the chat. Let's see what's going on here with hey, there's Charles Philip Bowen III. Good morning. Nice to have Charles in the chat. Mr. Wesker is ready for the next game. He says App State. First half over, maybe for Charles. USF team total over there for Timmy Tushu. All right. Good job, you guys, on that. I'm taking UTSA here in this one. I like them to at least hang in there by 2 touchdowns here in this one against South Florida on the road, but take UTSA. All right, Mr. Palachi says take App State and South Florida. All righty. Let's get to our next game here with Georgia Southern taking on Appalachian State. Appalachian State, a 5.5-point favorite here. They come in 4-4, total 61.5. Georgia Southern has lost 3 of their last 4 games, and they're now 3-5 against the spread overall. They're coming in off of a loss at Arkansas State, 34-24 as a 1.5-point favorite. App State, meanwhile, has lost 2 in a row, but they did cover last week, getting 13.5 in a road loss at Old Dominion, 24-21. So head to beautiful Boone Stadium there at Appalachian State. Georgia Southern is not a very good road team. This goes back a while here, really, but they're just 2-11 against the spread on the second of back-to-back road games, which we have here. So maybe you got an Appalachian State team 7-1 against the spread, coming off of a straight-up loss as an underdog. Georgia Southern really near the bottom in defense this season here, allowing 240 yards per game on the ground, and they've sacked the quarterback just 7 times in 8 games. So they are truly near the bottom defensively here, but they have enough offense maybe to actually stay in this game. This is a little bit of a rivalry between these two teams. One of the best nicknames for the games in all of college football is the fans between these two teams just call the rivalry Deeper Than Hate. That's it. So these two teams do not like each other. You think about the players that have been on these teams over the years. They don't really produce a lot of football talent, but have a good rivalry, Georgia Southern and Appalachian State. All right, I got to go with the over in this one with how bad Georgia Southern has been. But I think they might still be able to keep up here with Appalachian State. I just think I feel a little bit more comfortable taking the over here at 61 in this one. I'm going to take the over. Georgia Southern 6-2 to the over this season, 3-1 to the over as an underdog. Appalachian State, they are 1-2. To the under at home, and maybe they've had a little bit of defense, but you do have 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Georgia Southern's actually 6-1 against the spread in the last 7 meetings against Appalachian State. Appalachian State has won 15 of their last 18 home games overall, but like I said, they've lost 4 of their last 6. Georgia Southern, though, definitely struggling here a little bit as well, straight up. But they might hang. But I'm going to take the over 61.5 here with Georgia Southern and Appalachian State here on Thursday. And I know you guys already made some comments there in the chat on this game, so thank you. Mr. Palachi liked App State. And Charles says it's going to be cold there. It's getting cold down there. And wind, rain, snow. Oh, my goodness. Weather conditions here. And let's see here. And Timmy Chooch says, if the weather's ugly, how does it affect the over? Well, you'll see, actually, if the weather is determined to be poor, you'll see that total drop for sure. I don't think it has necessarily. It opened here right around this number. Maybe opened a little bit higher at some of the books, 62.5 to 61, but I don't know if I'm expecting what you guys are. All right. I guess that's it for the 2 college football games. Thanks a lot, you guys. Great job here on Night Moves. We're going to get to the NBA. We got 1 game. It makes my job easy, but I'd rather talk about a bunch of games with you guys. But let me get to our NBA game for Thursday night. Not an awful one. Let's take a look. The Los Angeles Clippers are on the road taking on the Phoenix Suns. Here's a couple of real doozies, huh? Dysfunctional franchises right now, I guess. Hey, at least Clippers got that beautiful building. That'll solve a lot of problem. Put a little lipstick on the pig there. Look, this Clippers franchise, I mean, they're probably about as good as they've ever been as far as the team's concerned over the last few seasons, right? I mean, this team's been the laughing stock of the league for years. We know that. But with Ballmer here, building their own arena and everything, still, have the controversy over the offseason, but Clippers come in here with a record of 3-4. Phoenix is 3-5, but they've won 2 of their last 3. Phoenix picked up wins over Utah and San Antonio. They also were on a 3-game cover streak before losing there a couple nights ago at Golden State, 118 to 107. Clippers, meanwhile, back-to-back losses here to Miami and to Oak State, and they can't cover anything right now. They are one of the worst, if not the worst, spread team in the league right now at 1-6 ATS. Although just 0-2 against the spread on the road, they played most of those games at home and were favored. So they do have a few wins, but awful against the spread, actually. Meanwhile, Phoenix, get this, they're 4-0 against the spread at home so far this season and 2-0 against the spread as a favorite. So I don't want the Clippers. Do you? Let me hear it from you in the chat. I'm taking the Suns to win and cover here tonight on Night Moves. There might be some spots for the Clippers, and I'm going to try to find a spot for them. That's my team, but right now, Clippers are pretty fun. They're in a funk. Let's just say. Here, this team's not looking that great on the court. No chemistry, it feels like, here at this point. Phoenix ain't much better with this group of players right now, but you got Booker in there averaging over 30 points a game. You got Grayson Allen in there as well, but not a great lineup here necessarily at this point, but I'm still willing to kind of come in here and take the Suns on Thursday night. Clippers have failed to cover in 5 straight games. They're 2-4 against the spread. Last 6 against Phoenix. They've lost 5 of the last 6 overall to Phoenix. I said the spread's 2.5 on the screen. I have 1.5 there. Let me look at the current line. in the game. It's 2.5. In fact, I'm starting to see a little bit of 3 out there right now. Total's up here to 224 and a half. So let me take a look at that total here as well. Send you out here with some info. Uh, uh, Teams are a combined 10-5 to the over this season. The Clippers are 1-0 to the over as an underdog. Phoenix, dating back to last season, has covered just 6 of their last 19 and have lost 14 of their last 18 overall, dating back to last season. This series has gone over in 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams. And Phoenix, like I said, at home, not only 4-0 against the spread, but 3-1 straight up. Clippers have not won on the road yet. I'm going to take the Phoenix Suns over the Clips on Thursday night. All right, and let's see. Charles is ready for the NHL now. Well, we're cruising along in this show, aren't we? Mr. Wesker says, maybe he's going to go with the Suns because he likes them. And Mr. Palachi says, are the Clippers' best players injured? Not only are they injured, they're just, they're suffering from a lack of heart. Kawhi is out. Harden is out as well. My man Kobe Sanders is out. Jordan Miller is out as well for the Suns. Dylan Brooks is out, and Jalen Green is probable. But look, Kawhi's out. Harden's out. That's almost 50 points right there. And they're only getting 2.5. So it's up to 3. Maybe it's going to keep going. Timmy leads to the under. West says, I'm not laying points with the Suns. That's just it. All right, I get it. I mean, the Suns are only 2-0 against the spread as a favorite. It's early in the season. And let's see here. Thank you, guys. Great comments in the chat. All right, we could go to the hockey card now, and we'll get back, and we got college basketball a little later, but we do have a big NHL card, a modest NHL card here, 9 games. Just want to mention last night, Alex Ovechkin got that 900th goal there, but what about Binnington? He tried to steal the puck. Oh, man, what a social violation there. Binnington tried to steal that valuable puck. I don't think he was going to get away with it, but they had some fun with that, and it was Ovi's night. For another night for Ovi for sure last night in that game against St. Louis. How do you go against the Capitals like I did here on Night Moves when you know that Ovi's going to get that record? You guys even talked about it in the chat. So, bad call. You got to go with it there. You got to go with Ovi. All right, we've got 9 games on the card here on Thursday night. Let's get right into it right now and start off with those St. Louis Blues. All right, well, we just talked about them. They lost that game at Washington, but they're on the back-to-back here, taking on the Buffalo Sabres. And, hey, it's been a little bit up and down for Buffalo here right now, but they are 5-4-4. St. Louis is actually 4-8-2 there after losing last night. Both teams have been kind of slumping here of late. Do have St. Louis coming in here 2-4 straight up on the road. Buffalo 5-1-4 in their last 10 games right now. And St. Louis is 5-1 to the over on the road. Buffalo 3-1 to the over as a favorite. St. Louis, talk about this slump that they've been in. They've actually lost 8 of their last 9 games overall. They've lost 4 of their last 6 to Buffalo. St. Louis has gone over in 7 of their last 8 games on the road dating back to last season. Buffalo's gone over in 5 of 6 here of late. They've dropped 4 of their last 5. 10 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams have gone over. That's about a 5-year sample size, but there could be something to it with these two franchises. Buffalo here has won 13 of their last 18 games at home dating back to last season. I'm going to go with the over here in this one. Look, the total there is kind of high, right, at 6.5 juice to the under. So at least we get a little even money, and it is 6.5. But I got to take the over here with St. Louis and Buffalo. And let's see how you guys have it here with. Hey, hi to Greg Gibson in the chat. Good to see you, Greg. He said he had Brooklyn. He said he told me. He told you. He told me. He said Brooklyn on the money line there, and they got it done. At least I had Brooklyn. I took him there because Greg did. Mr. Weskers likes Saber, and Timmy says you got to take over. Hofer's in net. He doesn't play too, St. Louis is a team that doesn't play their backup all that often. Hofer actually comes in here with a record of 1-3, 5.0 goals against, 8.835 save percentage. Meanwhile, Pekka Luukkonen is in goal here for Buffalo for sure. He's 1-0-1 with a 3.33 goals against, 87.5% save percentage. So, all right, some props in there as well. And I want to say hello to Koa J. Nice to have Koa J in the chat. Nice to have you. He says Sabres or the Blues. I'm going to take the over, Koa, if that's okay. I like the total in this one. We got some people commenting on the side there in the chat. But, hey, it is a closely rated game. You got to like that. Buffalo $1.30 or so here at home. All right, keep on keeping on here on Night Moves, and let's go next to Ottawa taking on the Bruins in this one. Ottawa's favored on the road here, $1.30. The totals says 6.5. It feels more like 6 here right now, and I'm going to switch it up and call it 6. I'm going to call it 6. Maybe I'll shade it over to minus 115, but it might actually be even on some of these numbers here right now for Ottawa. They come in here with a record of 6-5-2. They've been in pretty good form, but Boston, they're back to winning again. Boy, this team is up and down. They are 8-7 here right now for the Bruins, but they're an underdog here at home right now to Ottawa, but they've won 4 straight. What gives? I mean, they're kind of back on a roll here. They beat the Islanders. They beat Buffalo. They beat Carolina. And then they won again at the Islanders here a couple of nights ago for 4 straight wins. All of a sudden, the Bruins here are pretty hot. And now they're a dog here against Ottawa. I know the Sharps are going to be on Ottawa. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, they're favored after all here, but it hasn't been a overwhelming season or anything, it feels like, here for Ottawa so far. Now, the head-to-head series may favor. Let me take a look here and get you caught up on it, because Ottawa's won 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams overall. But Boston's won 4 of their last 5 at home. They won, like I said, 4 straight, 5 of their last 6, 11 of the last 16 meetings between these two teams have gone under. I know the Sharps are all over Ottawa, man, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can do it the way Boston's kind of playing a little bit better here right now. I'll hear from you guys in the chat. Maybe you could sway my opinion, but you've got Ottawa team here that is 5-3-2 in their last 10 overall, but just 2-3 on the road. Boston 6-3 at home so far. They've done a decent job. It's just, like I said, Ottawa has kind of had the better of Boston, and I do think that this is the side of the Sharps here. I know that they really like Ottawa. I'm just not sure that I can do it with Boston playing well again and getting a little bit of plus money at home. Ottawa's 10-3 to the over this season, including 6-0 to the over on the road. They're 7-2 to the over as a favorite. Meanwhile, Boston's 9-6 to the over and 6-3 to the over at home. Does feel like a kind of an over coming in. You've got Linus Ullmark in here, 3.41 goals against, 5-4-2 record, 86% save percentage. And for Swayman, he's 5-4 with a 3.09 goals against and 89.5% save percentage. So Timmy Chushu says, I can say both teams could win this one. Not sure, but he's just going to take some props, it looks like. maybe he'll take the Bruins for a little plus money in there, and that's what I'm going to do as well. I got to take the Bruins. Usually, I do kind of prefer uh, uh, maybe a series history in a matchup like this, but right now, Boston 4-game winning streak, getting a little plus money at home. Ottawa's starting to give it back here. 2 losses in the last 3 games. They're just a tick over 500. I got to try the dog here at home between Ottawa and Boston. I know I'm going against my friends, the Sharps, in this one, I'm pretty sure. The Montreal Canadiens and New Jersey Devils meet in a matchup of two teams that are playing well to start the season. The Canadiens have won 3 of their last 4. They're 9-3-1 overall. The Devils have actually lost 3 of their last 4 to fall to 9-4 here right now. Devils are coming off of a road trip, though. They went 1-3, so that accounted for most of their losses as they were red hot. The only game they won on the road trip was at Los Angeles. They lost to Colorado, San Jose, and Anaheim. Montreal is coming in here off of a loss to Philly the other night, 5-4 at home, but they did beat Vancouver, Seattle, and Ottawa for a 3-game winning streak. Before that, Montreal 7-2-1 in their last 10 straight up. They're also 5-2 on the road. Meanwhile, New Jersey has not lost at home yet this season. They're 5-0 coming into this one. For New Jersey, they go with Markstrom, 3-2 with a 4.17 goals against, 87.5% save percentage. For Montreal, Jacob Dobbs in goal. Sam Montembeault allowed 4 goals on Tuesday. That's been the norm for Montembeault. Good thing the Canadiens are so explosive this season, scoring goals to make up for some of the goaltending woes here. But Dobbs is actually 6-0 coming in right now with a 1.97 save percentage and a 1.97 goals against and a 93% save percentage. So look, Montembeault wasn't bad in that shootout loss. He saved 38 of 42, but you got to think that Dobbs is going to get more playing time here right now. The 24-year-old young goaltender is looking very, very strong, and he's got to go up against New Jersey here, who is 2-5 to the under as a favorite so far. Montreal 3-1 to the over as an underdog. This is a good matchup and a good game for sure here on Thursday night. Montreal's lost 6 of their last 7 games, though, to New Jersey overall. But Montreal, like I said, playing well on the road. 10 of the last 15 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Montreal's gone over in 5 straight. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams here in New Jersey have gone over. So I've got some conflicting trends, to say the least. And let me see if you guys have a play on this one between Montreal and New Jersey. New Jersey's won 3 straight meetings over the Canadiens. They won here almost, it will be about a year to the day on November the 7th that New Jersey took a 5-3 win at home against Montreal on last November 7th. So almost a year to the day in that one. New Jersey hammered Montreal. All right, let's see what you got in the chat. And Mr. Weskers, I think he likes New Jersey. Jimmy Chusa says they're just too hot despite Dobbs in there. And minus 160 is a lot, says Mr. Wesker. Yeah, but you know what? That's kind of what we're dealing with almost, isn't it? In some of these, games right now, right? It seems like the lines just keep getting bigger for the favorite, and then the puck line gets bigger for the dog. Want to say hello to Matt Ferruti in the chat. He likes the Canadiens here as a dog here. Yeah, you got Dobbs in there. Maybe it's interesting, right? You got 6-0 Dobbs against 5-0 at home New Jersey. Something's got to give. And JG 23065. I hope that I think that's probably his real. I don't know. These handles are bothering me that YouTube put up there, but I like at least having JG in there, and I like uh, his avatar. I'm not sure what that is, but it looks pretty cool. Looks like a beach scene there, a cove scene possibly with rocks and the sun. All right. Greg says Devils, that's his team. He likes the Devils here tonight. It feels like it's going to be a one goal game, but man, these puck lines are so high. You got like $2 to take Montreal on the puck line. The Devils are actually just $1.50 or so right now here. So, all right. I'm going to take the Devils here minus $1.50 over my Canadians. Give me the Devils in this one. At home. The Minnesota Wild are going to take on the Carolina Hurricanes, and the Hurricanes are a big favorite here in this game. Right now, minus $2, $1.90 here with Carolina coming in 8-4. Minnesota just 5-6-3, but Minnesota's won a two in a row. They beat Vancouver at home. They beat Nashville at home. They've been on a long home homestand, and now they head out on the road for a stop here. Carolina coming in off a 3-0 win at the Rangers, because that's what you do. You go in and beat the Rangers. Carolina's 3-1 at home so far this season, 7-2 at home as a favorite. Minnesota, meanwhile, 3-5 as an underdog. A little bit tough maybe here, $1.90, but that's the way these lines are going. You guys are talking about them in the chat like that too. It's just hard to get away from them here. Hard to lay these puck lines here in this one, but Carolina is 7-5 on the puck line so far this season, 5-4 as a puck line favorite. And Minnesota, they played okay there on that homestand. Sometimes they look okay here at home, but kind of look at the trends here between the two teams right now, and you see that Carolina, maybe this series does kind of favor them a little bit. Carolina's won, let's see here. Minnesota's won, actually. 6 of the last 8 meetings between the two. It's just that Minnesota's in a pretty bad funk here right now, having lost 8 of their last 11. Meanwhile, Carolina actually comes in here a little hotter here, obviously, with their 8-4 record overall at home. So tough to kind of lay the puck line here, but I might actually do it on one of these games. I think Carolina might be able to take this one. 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over here at Carolina. Carolina's gone over in 5 straight at home. 6 of the last 8 meetings, however, have gone under. So usually when they play in Minnesota, it's been an under. When they play at Carolina, it's been an over. But again, these two teams only meet a couple of times a season. I'm going to go with the Hurricanes here on the puck line. I'm not laying many puck lines these days, but I'm going to do it here with Carolina. Give me the Hurricanes minus -1.5 against the Wild here on Thursday night. See what you guys have in the chat in this one. All right, let's see here. 4-2 Canes. So it looks like Greg is kind of with me here. And Timmy Chushu says, are these guys exciting? 2-0. Is that the score prediction? JG leading to the Canes in regulation. Greg likes the Canes at home. And Aho for a goal. Says he really hasn't perked up yet so far this season. The Washington Capitals are on the road here taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Capitals played, of course, last night. What can you say? They had that goal with Ovi, snapped their winning streak, snapped their losing streak as well. They had been on a losing streak and finally got that one through. Pittsburgh's lost 2 in a row as well. They lost to Winnipeg and they lost to Toronto as a dog last time out a couple of nights ago at the Leafs. Pittsburgh comes in 6-2-2 in their last 10. They're 3-1 at home, but Washington is 3-1 on the road so far this season. Pittsburgh's gone 4-1 to the over at home so far this season, and I don't know. You look at these two goalies. I got to think that maybe this is the way to go in this game is to go over. You got Charlie Lindgren in here, a 1-2-1, 3.46 goals against, 88% save percentage. Lindgren has been outplaying Thompson so far, but uh, Thompson's the one still with the lower goals against. It seems like when Thompson's in there, they just get in low scoring games and can't score. When Lindgren's in there, though, he does not have as good of a goals against average, but he gets better offense for whatever reason. So this is going to be the fifth start for Lindgren since we are on the back to back here. He did have 35 saves in a shutout this season, but has allowed 4 goals on 82 shots in 3 games since to go 0-2-1. Artur Silovs 3-2-2, 2.66 goals against, 91.5% save percentage. I got to take the over here in this one. This is an over series for sure. 12 of the last 14 games between these two teams in Pittsburgh have gone over. Pittsburgh's gone over in 5 of their last 6 at home and 5 of their last 7 overall. I got to take the over in this one with Washington and Pittsburgh here on Thursday night. Timmy Two Shoes says he took the Pens. Good rivalry between these two teams, certainly. Greg says Pittsburgh 4-3. Washington scored a lot yesterday. 6 goals in that game against St. Louis, including that magic goal for Ovi. Timmy says maybe the veterans will score there. JG likes the over. Matt Peruti likes the over as well. Hope I'm saying it right, Matt. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take the over in that one. All right, the Anaheim Ducks are on the road taking on Dallas. Man, this Ducks team starting to get more and more attention right now, but they're in a tough one here. This might be one of the games, if not the game of the night, actually, right now, the way these two teams are going. Anaheim's won 4 in a row, and they're 8-3-1 this season. They're playing out of their minds on this last streak. They beat Florida twice. They beat the Red Wings. They beat New Jersey, and they're looking good here right now. They're young. They definitely have speed and talent. For Dallas, they come in here 7-3-3. They've been solid here as well, coming in a win over Edmonton at home 4-3 after losing to Tampa Bay and Florida, actually, but still very strong record here for Dallas so far this season. Anaheim's actually lost 11 of their last 13 overall to Dallas, and Dallas has won 4 of their last 6. 10 of the last 14 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Dallas has gone under in 4 of their last 5 at home and 7 of their last 9 overall. Anaheim has gone over in 5 of their last 7, but as a dog, they're 4 over and 4 under so far this season. Man, the way these puck lines are going right now and the way Anaheim's playing, look, maybe they fall in this game, but doesn't feel like it should be a $2 game the way Anaheim's going right now. You know, Dallas is $1. I have $1.90 there. They're actually probably down to about $1.75. But you know what? The Ducks are $1.75 on the puck line the other way. So either way. Now, I know there are other ways to play it. You could play it as a -1. You could play it in regulation. But I try to play it for 1.5 so we have a result. You don't need to do exactly what I'm doing. I just like to make sure we get a result on these shows and show who I'm on. I'm going to take Anaheim here, plus $1.5 goals at -$1.75. Could take them on the money line as well. They're playing that well. They really are. They feel like a team here who has finally broken through. Look, Anaheim's had some success before. This has just been a long time. The team has been dormant here for a while as far as winning is concerned, but they had a few seasons, right? They had a big time star back in the day in Timu Solani. And man, now they've got young talent on this team looking good. No, Dallas is pretty strong, no doubt. But I'm going to go ahead and take Anaheim here. They're 6-2 on the puck line this season, and as a puck line underdog this season. Meanwhile, Dallas is 1-9 as a puck line favorite. So, I know it's $1.75 either way, but I got to take Anaheim in this one. All right. And JG like an Ottinger here to have a game. Timmy likes Robertson to score. Greg likes Anaheim to win 3-2. JG likes the Ducks team total under here. And even Kreidler is looking good. And Greg says, tricky game here. I'm going to take Anaheim. Good game here. Greg says, yeah, take the Ducks plus the goal. Look, hey, we know these numbers it's just crazy. The number of one-run games, if you missed it, I talked about it last night, but one-run games in the NHL right now, pardon me, are up 40% over last year at this time, and in general over the last year as well. Both the long-term trend and the short-term trend showing these one-goal games are way up this year. JG says Panthers are his best play of the day there. Okay, let's get to the next one. The Philadelphia Flyers are at the Nashville Predators here in a closely rated game. The Predators are maybe the slightest of favorites, but man, this one might be as close to pick'em as it is to Nashville being favored. Still give Nashville the slight nod with the favoritism here, maybe $1.10, $1.15 or so. Nashville comes in having lost 2 straight games, actually, losing at home to Vancouver, at Minnesota. On the road, Philly comes in here off of a win on the road at Montreal, as previously mentioned. The Flyers are 2-5 straight up on as an underdog this season. Meanwhile, Nashville is 3-2 as a favorite. They do come in just 5-6-4 overall. Philadelphia 7-5-1. Philly is 4-0 to the puck line on the road. 5-2 as a puck line underdog here. Kind of like them in this game against Nashville. Let's see what you have, though. Philadelphia has struggled on the road dating back to last season, going just 3-17. But Nashville's lost 5 of their last 6 games coming in. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under when playing here in Nashville, and 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone under as well. Philadelphia's won 6 of their last 9 games coming in. Let's go to the chat here and hear from you guys. Philadelphia is 5-2 to the over as an underdog, but Nashville's gone under in 8 of their last 10, and the total here is the low total on the board at 5.5. We'll go to the chat and see if there's any picks here from you guys. And Greg says the majority of the games are 1-goal games. Feels like it, right? What happened last night? Were they no 1-goal games last night, right? They were mostly blowouts. First night of the season there. Man, they were blowouts last night. Matt Ferruti likes the Flyers here. Greg says 3-2 Flyers. They are hot. Flyers going to beat them, Greg said. All right. Yeah, I'm going to take the Flyers as well here in this one. Give me the Flyers on the road here over the Preds at minus $1.05. Oh, that's not. Where's my? That was last night, right? Where's my hockey? Okay, there we go. Let me get the game. Here we go. The Tampa Bay Lightning going to take on the Vegas Golden Knights here at T-Mobile on Thursday night. Vegas is favored $1.25. The total 6. Vegas comes in here 7-2-3 right now. They're in a little bit of a slump, but Tampa Bay comes in off of a loss. They were on a winning streak before losing to Colorado on the road the other night, or 2 nights ago, 3-2 to stop their winning streak. Vegas comes in here off of 1-0 win over the Red Wings last time out. Vegas is 4-1 at home this season. Tampa Bay just 1-2 as an underdog so far this season. Tampa's hasn't performed too bad against Vegas here, actually. Tampa's won 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams, but Vegas at home here, you've got to think they're going to keep this up right now, this strong streak that they're on. They're 4-1 at home so far. Yeah, they're not covering their puck lines. In fact, Tampa Bay is 3-0 as a puck line underdog, so probably headed for another 1-goal game. Tampa Bay is 0-3 to the over on the road so far, or 0-3 to the over as an underdog, 2-5 to the under on the road. Vegas has gone over in 5 of 8 as a favorite so far this season. 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone over, but Vegas has gone under in 5 of their last 6. Tampa Bay has gone under in 8 of their last 10 and 4 of their last 5 on the road. Could be 7 of their last 10. One of them kind of fell right on the number. But see what you guys have here in this one with Tampa Bay and Vegas here at home. Tampa's kind of, like I said, have owned the series, but Vegas did win the matchup here last year at home. 4-2 was played in March. All right, let's see what we got here from you guys. Lightning are a live dog here, says JG. Greg says 3-2 Vegas. Timmy says, I want to take kind of the under in this one with with this matchup. You know, Akira Schmid comes in here 6-1 with a 2.31 goals against. Vasilevsky just 3-4, 3-4-2 with a 2.67 goals against and 90% save percentage. I'm taking the Vegas Golden Knights to win this one over Tampa Bay on Thursday night. One more on the ice here on Thursday night. The Florida Panthers will take on the Los Angeles Kings. Bobrovsky and Kemper in this one. Florida comes in 6-1. The Kings are 6-4 coming in right now. Florida just 1-5 on the road, but the Kings are 1-3 at home. They are 5-2-3 in their last 10 overall. Florida, an underdog for just the third time this season. Yeah, they are still an underdog here right now. And here's another 5.5 though here actually. And this one might actually be kind of an under. It feels like Florida's 0-2 so far, and they're only 2 games as an underdog. The Kings are 2-4 to the under at home so far this season. You got Bobrovsky coming in here at 2.81 goals against, 6-4 record, 88.5% save percentage. Meanwhile, for Darcy Kemper, 4-3-3 with a 2.57 goals against and a 90% save percentage in this one. I got to go under in this game here. It'll be a closely rated game. I hope the Kings can get this one. Kings are just 2-6 on the as a puck line favorite this season, but Florida is 0-6 on the puck line on the road. Granted, they were favored in 4 of those games. They're 2-11 on the puck line overall, but again, they are a dog here, and one of their 2 puck line wins came as a dog, so probably be a 3-2 game here, it feels like. But I'm going to go under in this one with Florida and the Kings here on Thursday night. I think if you look at the matchup overall, 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Kings have won 5 straight times at home, 5 straight years here at home against Florida. But like I said, the Kings, for whatever reason, they're kind of bumbling along here at home with just one win so far. So we'll see what happens. But Florida on the road, not good either, 1-5. Kings have won 7 of the last 9 meetings overall between the two teams. All right, and let's see if you. Thanks, you guys. You guys are great in the chat here. Florida for Timmy Tushu, and Matt likes the under. I think in this one. I think Greg went with me. He said 3-2 Kings, just like that. Says you can't trust the Panthers. I think that's it for the hockey. Good job, you guys. 9 games on the ice. Man, I mean, some sports got to have a bunch of games. We know there's plenty of games in college basketball here for Thursday night, but they're not all marquee matchups. Of course, there's always going to be more college basketball games than anything. But trying to find the best matchup of the day wasn't easy. You might have to tell me what it is. I hope I picked some good games to look at in college basketball. I've been hot, so I might as well give out the plays at least for the college games here. And I started with the Illinois State Redbirds taking on the Ohio Bobcats here on Thursday. All right, I'm down with that. Coming in here, got Illinois State. Let me make sure I get the records right here after one game. Illinois State, I don't think they've played a D1 game there, but Ohio U has a game so far in hand. They lost to Arkansas State 89-85 in that one. I think they were favored, right, and didn't get the money for sure. So a little bit of a rough start there for Ohio U. For Illinois State here, they are coming in here as I believe a 1.5 point favorite. Is that right? Yeah, 1.5 point favorite right now in this one for Illinois State. Coming in here against Ohio. It will be, like I said, the season opener here for Illinois State on Thursday night. Get my picks out here and make sure we get the right call in this one between Illinois State and Ohio here on Thursday night. Teams met last season as well, kind of running a home and home here. Illinois State actually got the win, 85-75, as a 2.5 point dog actually at home. Now they're going on the road, and I think they're going to win here actually over Ohio U. The total 158. That is pretty high. We're starting to see those numbers here a little starting to come back down to the under here after the third night of play. But I got to take Illinois State on the road. Like I said, they won the meeting here last year. They won at home anyway, 85-75. That was 162, so it was slightly over there. But I'm going to take Illinois State here over Ohio U. All right, and let me see here. Next up, I'm going to go to Omaha taking on Abilene Christian. Here, Omaha opened the season with a loss against Murray State on the road, 85-77 as a 5-point dog. It went over 154 in an 85-77 loss. So Abilene Christian, meanwhile, lost to Seattle. Let's see. No, they. I don't think they made. I gotta check KenPom on this one. I thought they played a non-Division One already. Okay, yeah, they beat McMurray. No relation to McFlurry. 92-85. Abilene did get the win there, so they won handily in a non-Division One matchup there. So got. Coach Tanner here at Abilene. I mean, he's been in his 5th season here right now. And look, they went last year 16-16. They finished strong, but did lose in that conference playoff game, WAC playoff game to Seattle, but they did win 7 of their last 10 games last season. I'm going to go with the under here in this one at 153. That's going to be my play. Give me the under with Omaha and Abilene Christian in this one. Greg, I think he means Illinois State there. Thank you, Greg. He likes Illinois State to win by 1. Cal State Northridge on the road, taking the Northern Iowa Panthers on here. And you got 4 Northridge coming in here. I think this one, Northridge coming in here 1-0 so far this season. Northridge got a win. Let me see here. I think it was a non-D1 win. So these I got to kind of look up over here on the Ken Palm. So bear with me on that, but I do want to at least say the score of their game and who they beat. Here we go. So CSUN beat Nobel College 99-55 in their exhibition opener there to get a win, to go to get an official win there, 1-0 for Northridge here, taking on the Panthers of Northern Iowa, making their debut here this season as well. They did not play a official official preseason game, if you will. So under Coach Jacobson here at Northern Iowa, the veteran coach, man, Jacobson's been here, 18 or 19 years right now. But I don't know if I want to trust them laying some points here necessarily. I think CSUN here might be able to hang in this one with Northern Iowa. I think that's probably the direction I'm going to go with this game, taking CSUN here in this matchup. They're getting, 8.5 points? That seems pretty good to me. I kind of want to take Northridge here in this matchup against Northern Iowa here on Thursday. Take the points with Cal State Northridge. See if I had some thought I had some decent trends here on this, but might have come a little bit under. There we go. For Northridge here, they did close the season winning 10 of their last 14 games last season. They were starting at favored in conference play, and they really weren't covering many spreads. Northern Iowa pretty strong at home. They, however, did finish just 1-4 ATS late last season. Northridge is just 1-5 straight up in their last 6 games against Missouri Valley teams, but I got to take Northridge here in this one, plus 8.5. Give me the Matadors in this one. Hello to Devin Grigsby. Thank you, Devin. And Greg says, I never sleep. You know when I sleep? When I'm not on here. All right. And good to have you, Timmy. Good to have Timmy and Devin in there. You guys are helping me out. You guys help me out. Get these shows out. And it helps me do a great, I like to talk it out a little bit. Sometimes I come on without knowing what my pick is on some of the games. And then I kind of let the chat help me out a little bit. Just like anybody, you don't pick on every game, just 90% of them. All right, Greg likes Northridge to cover. All right, let's go to a UC school here now with Riverside on the road, taking on North Dakota here on the road. This is a closely rated game here between these two. Let me see. Yeah, Riverside and North Dakota. Yeah, closely rated game here. Riverside comes in here off of a win in their opener over, who was it? I know it. I saw it. All right, here we go. All right, Riverside here comes in a win over La Sierra College. Then their opener 90-49. Meanwhile, North Dakota did play Alabama, and got the money in a 91-62 loss at the Crimson Tide. They were getting 35.5 points in that one. So, hey, 1-0 against the spread so far there for North Dakota. A total here, 151. North Dakota wasn't under, by the way, in that game. It was 91-62. The total was 170 in that game. So I think this one's probably going to be an under, actually, with Riverside and North Dakota here in this one. I want to take the under with these two on Thursday night. These teams met 2 years ago. It was 68-62. Riverside won at home as a 4.5 point favorite. So I'm going to try the under here in this one with Riverside. North Dakota did finish the season with 5 straight unders last season before going under in that first game here this season. They usually do go over at home. They actually have gone 10-3 to the over in their last 13 games overall. North Dakota, though, is just 1-6 in its last 7 games against the Big West Conference. Riverside's went over in 6 of their last 7 games on the road last season, and they finished 8-1 to the over in their last 9 games. Riverside has won 12 of their last 17 games overall. I'm going to take the under with Riverside and North Dakota here on Thursday. Greg says Riverside is tough. Timmy says give me North Dakota at home. And Greg's got that one close, but he's got Riverside winning it, and he's got it with an under. And I'm going under too. All right, the Wright State Raiders. Raiders are going to take it. This might be the best Raiders of the night. I don't know. They're 15-point dogs to the Cal Golden Bears here. But we'll see. Wright State comes in here with a win in their season opener. They were able to beat, let me see here. I know they played a non-Division I team as well, so let me get that. I want to know. Wright State opened with a win over Franklin University. I think Franklin beat Franklin 86-37 to win that one. Meanwhile, for Cal, they come in here over a win over Bakersfield. That's a little bit more respectable. They beat them 87-60. They covered 15.5 in the win over the Roadrunners to go to 1-0 here, 1-0 ATS so far. But I'm probably going to go to the total now. The first game of the season did go over there for Cal at 87-60 by 0.5 point. And now it's up to 153 here against Wright State. I'm going under in this game between Wright State and Cal. I'm going to go under here in this one. For Wright State, they have went 2-5 last 7 games against the spread to close out the season. They failed 5 straight on the road, 0-5 ATS to close out last season. Cal closed the season 4-1 ATS before covering in that first game. Cal has gone over in 6 of 7 dating back to last season, but they actually are just 3-8 straight up in their last 11 dating back to last season, but 14-6 in their last 20 games at home dating back to last season. What's going to happen here? I don't know. I'm just going to take the under 153 here with Wright State and Cal. Man, I've got some unders here tonight for sure. I do. And let's see. Cal not covering this. And, well, at least in college basketball, I think, Timmy, we're looking pretty good here so far. And I'm going to give out another winner here in just a minute. In just a second. One more game. One more game and the show's over. Denver taking on Washington. And no, it's not the Broncos and the Commanders. But Denver did play Washington the Super Bowl once. I remember that game. My car blew up trying to drive to the Super Bowl party. Good thing we go to Super Bowl parties early back in the day to, have a good time. But my engine blew going to that Super Bowl party. Hey, we made it. You don't think I got a little toasty in that one? All right, here we go with Denver. They did play Seattle. That's where I got my notes mixed up there. They did play Seattle on the road and covered in a 84-73 loss. They covered 12.5 points. Denver got the money in the opener against the Seattle Red Storm. Meanwhile, for Washington here, or the Red, whatever's they are nowadays, for the Huskies here, they played Pine Bluff and won 94-50 to cover 34.5 at home with ease, as it did go well under the total. In fact, Denver went over the total in their first game. Meanwhile, Washington went under the total in theirs. Denver's lost 15 of their last 20 dating back to last season, but they are 7-1 against the spread last 8 games on the road, including that first one. Washington, meanwhile, has lost 6 of their last 7 dating back to last year and lost 7 of their last 9 at home dating back to last season. Washington's gone over in 9 of their last 12 dating back to last season. Washington is 4-1 straight up in their last 5 games against Summit teams. I'm going under again in this one with Denver and Washington here. Give me the under in this one at 153. All these 150s, I'm taking them under. I just gave out 4 unders on 6 picks here on Night Moves. And I think that's the show. Unless you guys have a request in college basketball, I'll mosey on out of here. Let's see. I'll get a few more plays off from you guys. And Devin Grigsby would have did more than, Devin, I think I was kind of young. I don't even know if I was, so I'm trying to think if I was even I don't want to say I wasn't of drinking age at that time, but I know I was pretty young. I was driving, obviously. I wasn't drunk. I wasn't drinking. I was mad when I got to the party. That's for sure. I remember that. That's much I remember. But I remember that game for sure. Okay, let's see here. Washington should take out Denver and cover. Washington might not be ready to roll just yet to beat someone by 27 points, right? All right, I guess that's it for Night Moves. I had a good time. Hey, I'm going to have college basketball picks over at Tony's Picks. That's what I'm going to have. I'm 7-2 so far this season. Why not check out the handicapper leaderboards and see who's hot? You want to get my college basketball, that's what I'd encourage you to do. We're in the first week of the season, and there I am atop the college basketball leaderboards, and I'm going to say I'm going to finish on top of the college basketball leaderboards. I love my peers here at Tony's Picks, but I'm off to a 7-2 start. See a couple of strong cappers up there as well, but I've got 7 wins already in 3 nights, and this is my best sport. You take a look at last year, where on college basketball, let me get it here. Oops. Let me get my numbers here. Those aren't right. That's the wrong menu. There it is. Take a look. Last season, there it is. I was 25 units to the good in college basketball in 2024. So check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off all premium pick packages, including mine here on Thursday. We're going to have a great time and a great card. So make sure you check us out over at Tony'sPicks.com and use that promo code TonyT at checkout to save 15% off not only my packages, but the packages from all the cappers over at Tony's Picks. All right, for Tony'sPicks.com, I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Night Moves.